Diesel stood at the chain-link fence of the abandoned lot on Riverside Drive, his deep bark echoing through the neighborhood every time Engine 19 or Ladder 12 drove past. The firefighters had noticed him that morning during their first call, a house fire 6 blocks away. But now as they responded to their fourth emergency of the day, the dog was still there, still barking with an urgency that made seasoned firefighter Captain Mike Torres feel uneasy. That dog's been going crazy all morning, Torres radioed to his crew as they passed the lot again, heading back to the station. Something's not right about this. Diesel wasn't just barking randomly. His behavior was specific, deliberate. When regular cars drove by, he remained silent. When police cars passed, he barely lifted his head. But the moment any fire truck came into view, he would rush to the fence, plant his front paws against the metal, and bark with the kind of intensity that suggested this wasn't casual noise. This was communication. The lot had been empty for 2 years, ever since the old warehouse was demolished. Most people assumed Diesel was just another stray looking for food or shelter. But firefighter Emma Rodriguez, who had 20 years of experience reading animal behavior during emergency calls, noticed something different about this dog's posture. "Cap, I think he's trying to tell us something," she said as they parked the truck at the station. "I've seen this before. Dogs try to lead rescuers to someone in trouble." Torres looked back toward the lot where Diesel continued his relentless barking. In his 15 years as a firefighter, he had learned to trust his instincts, and right now, every instinct was telling him this dog needed attention. 20 minutes later, Torres and Rodriguez returned to the lot on foot. Diesel stopped barking the moment he saw them approach. Instead, he began whining, pacing back and forth along the fence line, looking at them, then toward a pile of debris in the far corner of the lot, then back at them again. "He wants us to follow him," Rodriguez said, immediately recognizing the behavior. "This is exactly what search and rescue dogs do when they find someone." They climbed over the low fence, and Diesel immediately trotted toward the debris pile, a collection of concrete blocks, wooden beams, and twisted metal left over from the warehouse demolition. As they got closer, they could hear it, a faint sound barely audible under the rubble. Crying. The firefighters moved faster now, their training taking over. "Hello," Torres called out. "Can you hear me? We're here to help." A small voice answered, weak but clear. "I'm stuck. I can't move my leg." Rodriguez was already on her radio, calling for the full rescue team, while Torres began carefully moving debris. Diesel circled them, whining softly, but staying close as if supervising their work. Under a sheet of plywood and several concrete blocks, they found 8-year-old Tommy Martinez, who had been exploring the lot that morning when a pile of debris shifted and trapped his leg. He had been calling for help for hours, but the lot was too far from the street for anyone to hear him. Anyone except Diesel. "The dog," Tommy whispered as the firefighters worked to free him. "He stayed with me. He wouldn't leave." That's when the full picture became clear. Diesel hadn't been barking at the fire trucks randomly. He had been trying to get their attention, trying to bring help to a child who needed rescue. Every time a fire truck passed, he barked because he knew these were the people who saved others. Within an hour, Tommy was free and on his way to the hospital with a broken leg, but otherwise unharmed. The story could have ended there, but Diesel's heroism was just beginning to unfold. As news spread about the rescue, neighbors came forward with more information about the mysterious German Shepherd. Mrs. Santos, who lived across from the lot, revealed that Diesel had been hanging around the neighborhood for weeks, always alert, always watching. He had helped find Mrs. Chin's lost cat, guided a confused elderly man back to his family, and once barked continuously until someone discovered a gas leak at the corner market. "He's not just a stray," she explained to the gathering crowd of reporters and neighbors. "He's been protecting all of us." The fire department was so impressed with Diesel's intelligence and dedication that they offered him something unprecedented. Captain Torres submitted paperwork to make Diesel an honorary member of Station 19, complete with his own badge and sleeping area at the firehouse. But the real surprise came when they discovered Diesel's background. A microchip scan revealed he had once been a search and rescue dog whose handler had died in a car accident 8 months earlier. With no family to claim him, Diesel had been released to a shelter that had closed down, leaving him to wander the streets, using his training to help whoever needed it most. Today, Diesel lives at Fire Station 19, where his barking is never ignored. He rides along on certain calls assist with community safety programs and has become the most beloved member of the crew. Tommy Martinez visits him every month, bringing treats and updates about his recovery. The abandoned lot has been cleaned up and turned into a small park with a bench dedicated to Diesel and a plaque that reads, "Sometimes heroes come on four legs." Because Diesel proved that real heroes don't need uniforms or badges or official recognition. They just need the courage to keep barking until someone listens and the determination to never give up on someone who needs help. Sometimes the most important emergency calls come not through radios or sirens, but through the persistent voice of a dog who refuses to let anyone suffer alone.